shook my head when he offered his sister.
I need to get that really loud, though. Maybe this shit is just to get a feel for stuff, you know?
When the roll of death strangles and dark waters roar and foam, when fear and trembling hold me and the slimy pit pulls down, I know you are there. When the pale starlight is fading and sorrow fills my heart, when dewdrops fall so sweetly on the green, green grass at dawn, I know you are there. I know you are there. I know you are there.
As I got to be maybe, late teenager, early 20s, I started to really get crazy. I was a little bit psychotic, I think, but not schizophrenic. I just felt like I was so sad that I was becoming crazy. I started feeling like every room that I walked into was full of ghosts, full of invisible flying creatures that were, ominous and dark. Even in the supermarket shopping, I sense these things, and that's why people take pills, so they don't have to sense those things all the time. And I don't know whether they're really there or not, but you can't live thinking like that all the time, that you're surrounded by ghosts. So I think that it's just getting worse and worse. I think a lot of people go through this. When you feel depressed, you start to look for reasons why. And I think at first I start becoming afraid of certain things, like if I don't get in the car, I'll be okay. Or if I don't go up in a high building, I'll be okay. Or if I stay out of elevators, I'll be safe. You develop these scary places that you just stay away from, but eventually every place becomes a scary place. And then you're in trouble, that you can't go anywhere. Then there's no escape, and you have to get some help, or else you're going to jump off a bridge, I think. So.
After Rennie graduated, the two moved to Chicago. Chicago was a bankrupt town then, with many empty buildings and a sad, windy quality that made them feel like they were living in a grainy black and white movie, even on the sunniest summer day. Brett and Rennie loved it, and it was also a very cheap place to live. They had a full band back then, with another guitarist and a drummer, and it was the drummer who jokingly called Brett handsome. And so the band was named. It seemed to fit them well, conjuring up images of the Carter family and the Manson family all at once.
When they closed the last shopping mall, crickets sang in crumbling walls. Termites ate through the doors. Rabbits hopped along the floors. The empty shelves swarmed with bees. Cash machines sprouted weeds. Lizards crawled the parking lot. Swallows flew the empty shops. And there was peace in the valley once again. Plants grew up the mannequins, painting them with leafy skin. Their plastic eyes fell to the floor and were carried off by wild boars. All the mirrors cracked in half when wild horses galloped past, and mourning doves built their nests on the escalator steps, and there was peace in the valley once again. And there was peace in the valley once again.
When the Handsome Family took stage back then, they didn't make a lot of fans. People had a natural hatred for anything with twang. But a strange thing happened when that old Harry Smith anthology that Brett and Rennie had loved in Michigan suddenly was released on CD, and people in America began to rediscover their own lost folk music. In discovering folk music, people finally began to understand what caused the Handsome Family to write these slow, sad songs full of heartache.
They don't make records like this anymore. No. Well, it's mysterious. It's strange. The lyrics are almost like little voodoo spells, or just it's intangible. It's hard to describe really why I like it so much. I like the way it sounds. It sounds evil. But it sounds it's funky. It's great. It's like you said, almost everything. All American music, you can find a prototype for it in here, Blues, funk, soul, gospel. It's all in here. And his notes are really funny. I wish there was a mole down in the ground. I'm not going to hear modern pop stars sing that lyric. Like Fatal Flower Garden and House Carpenter, Butcher's Boy, or The Butcher Boy. I like King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Cameo, because it's so goofy and it's so catchy. Oh Me Wise. I guess the murder ballads, obviously, I kind of gravitate toward. I gotta admit. Yeah, the murder ballads, I don't know why, but they have this certain elemental quality that just appeals to us folk. I don't know why.
Well met, said I know true love. Well met, said he. I'm just returning from the salt sea, and it's all for the love of thee.
This is kind of a compromise for us.
she wanted to move to the country, and I kind of wanted to stay in the city. I mean, we looked for places in Chicago before we moved, and we couldn't afford them, but... So this is like kind of a nice middle ground. You know, you got a big backyard, a lot of room.
I want to live out in the desert and never comb my hair and grow a long gray beard and just wear like burlap sacks around the house and I don't know.
You better start taking testosterone now if you want to grow a long gray
Collect
beard.
my urine in a jar. And
Maybe I could grow a long gray beard for you, and you can cut it off and then strap it to your face.
I'd like to get to the point where if anybody even showed up like in front of my house, I'd run out there with a shotgun and just start trying to kill them.
Get the hell off my land.
Strangers.
Well, I did get something done today anyway.
The ideas and the style elements contained in the anthology are definitely being explored and maybe furthered by a lot of the stuff that we write. Are definitely trying to carry on those artistic ideas. The idea of perfect, concise story songs. I like the fact that the music is very conservative a lot of the times, but the lyrics are really weird sometimes, and vice versa.
That mountain looks like it's in the water or something. Huh? It looks like in the middle of an ocean. I know it's not, but it looks like strange. What is that?
What is what?
That mountain south of here.
I don't know what it is. It's probably Sakura or something, or where we came from.
Yeah.
The time we went to Arizona.
I can't think of what mountain's down there. I don't think it was there yesterday.
Yeah, you made it up.
It's a new mountain.
You created it.
Or something's happening to your eyes.
Uh-huh. That's weird.
She didn't like poetry, and she was very adamant and vocal about her disdain for people who call themselves poets. Like we'd go to bars where they'd have poetry slams or whatever, where you have these guys all talking the same cadence, and you know, she's just like, this is bullshit. This isn't writing. This is just people looking for attention. So then she started helping me out with lyrics, and she doesn't really use the mechanics of poetry. Instead of poems, they're more like really, really short stories, like giving voice to her worldview. We came in this world together, legs wrapped around each other. My cheek against my sister's, we were born like single vines. We lived along the river where the black clouds never linger. The sunlight spread like honey through my sister's tiny hands. But while picking sour apples in the wild waving grasses, sister stumbled in a briar and was bitten by a snake. Every creature casts a shadow under the sun's golden fingers, but when the sun sinks past the waving grass, some shadows are dragged